Thank you. We might all be seated. Hi, God. Good afternoon, honorable members, and greetings to the public once more. We are proceeding with our second session. I will now invite the Secretary to read the feed order of the day.
Order number 5, Policy and Budget Speech on Vote 7, Department of Education.
I now call upon the Honorable MEC of Education, Honorable Ellen Masina, to deliver the police budget speech.
Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity this afternoon to greet our Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Masango. I'm greeting our Honorable Premier in his absentia, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu. I want to greet our Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Mayor Tulisile Khoza, and the entire members of the Portfolio Committee, honorable members of this provincial legislature, our traditional leaders that are here today. I want to also greet in particular our religious leaders, our provincial secretary of the governing party, Comrade Muzichirwa. I have noticed that there are also members of parliament who have graced this occasion, Menkosi and others that I may not have seen. Executive mayors who are here today, our esteemed leadership on Education Sector Union, leadership of the Association of School Governing Bodies, esteemed leader of education partners that are here gracing this occasion today, HOD Ms. Lucy Moyane and all senior management of the department, our distinguished guests, members of the Fourth Estate, the media, respectable members of the community who are following us through the various media platforms, and all protocol is observed. Honorable members, let me take this opportunity, indicate that it is an honor and a very serious privilege to rise before this House to present the 26-27 Policy Budget Vote number 7 for the Department of Education. We do so, Honorable Deputy Speaker, at a defining moment which calls for bold action, strengthening accountability, and unwavering commitment to improving the quality of education in our beautiful province. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, we are guided by the priorities of the 7th administration as they relate to the Department of Education, which are to increase access to early childhood education, improving learner competency in reading, languages, and mathematics, enhance grade 12 results and improve quality passes, provide school infrastructure and digital learning technologies, and ensure accountability for poor performance across the entire system. At the center of all these goals, it is a sustainable impact of the 1.2 million cohort of learners across the province, ensuring that each one of them reaches their full potential. Honorable Speaker, today the thousands of learners we are speaking about are represented by a young girl, my special guest, Lindokuhle Ndimande, from a very rural village in Dalstrom, Emakhazeni local municipality. Lindokuhle carries the aspiration of many rural learners who, despite the challenges, continues to rise with resilience, hope and belief in our education system. Lindokuhle's presence here confirms our posture as a department that we are truly determined to make education work for the people of Mpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, I humbly request that she stands up where she is for this august house to recognize her. Can you stand up, Lindokuhle, wherever you are? Siyabonga. Honorable Speaker, We do this guided by our 30-year constitutional imperatives to ensure that every learner learns, every teacher teaches, every school functions optimally, and that the doors of learning and culture remains open wide enough not to leave anyone behind. Our approach is very much intentional, Honorable Speaker, deliberate, focused, and grounded in the involvement of our communities to usher a learner-centered education trajectory that works for the people of this beautiful province, the place of the rising sun. The department is ensuring a strict monitoring of time on task so that teaching and learning takes place for a full school day and unhindered. We are mobilizing our communities across the province, our stakeholders, and the business sector through Ranza Sikolo Shawena campaign to create a very favorable school condition and surroundings for safe, conducive learning and teaching spaces for our children. In this regard, I also wish to express our profound appreciation to the MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development and Environmental Affairs, Ms. Ketiwe Mueketsi, for endorsing this campaign. We are working in collaboration. We are equally grateful to MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaising, Mr. Jackie Masie, and the South African Police Acting Provincial Commissioner, Dr. Zef Mkwanazi, for taking the issue of school safety into their good and safe hands. Together, Honorable Speaker, with all the stakeholders, we have signed a declaration to create a learning and teaching conditions that are very safe, that are free from crime, drug trafficking, bullying, and corporal punishment. I wish to thank everyone in this province who participated and subscribed to this pledge. Honorable Speaker, improving learner performance remains at the heart of our mandate as a department. Our target this year is to achieve a 91% pass rate across the board with an improvement of the STEM subjects. We do this encouraged by the solid base of the impressive 86.55% pass rate that was achieved by the class of 2025 in the National Senior Certificate Examination results. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, the class of 2025 surpassed all manner of expectation, proving the resilience, the growth and impactfulness of our education system. In the gallery, Honorable Speaker, we have invited the 2025 best learner in our province, Luyanda Ndlozi, as my special guest today. She was also declared the best learner in quintile 2 schools in the whole country. Honorable Speaker, she is currently furthering her studies towards mechatronics engineering in the University of Cape Town with a full bursary from Telkom. She is our engineer in making. When we reached out to her, she cleared her schedule to honor us with her presence. Through you, Honorable Speaker, allow me to request the House to applaud Luyanda as she stands up. Luyanda, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, through the implementation of 2026 Learner Improvement Plan, we declare that any school that is performing below 80% is a low-performing or is regarded as an underperforming school. Our expectation is that all our schools must perform 80% and above. The department has since set aside 60.7 million to improve the learner performance across the board. Honorable Speaker, the digital transformation of our education system is no longer optional, but it is a necessity. Why expanding the e-learning across the system, including the introduction of the digital learning in grade 10 through the provision of the devices, curriculum-aligned content and connectivity. This investment in e-learning aligns with the department's vision and mission to enhance education through technology. The department continues to distribute 60,000 tablets loaded with relevant e-content and data for connectivity for grade 12 learners. Equally, Honorable Speaker, the department piloted a full-scale of e-learning smart schools project in 8 schools across the province, which are using the tablets right from grade 8 up to grade 12. This pilot has informed our decision to start providing tablets at grade 10. This year, we will compile a comprehensive report of this pilot to inform our future trajectory. Honorable Speaker, we're very much grateful that the grade 10 learners are already receiving their tablets. In this gallery, there is a learner from Chief Funwago Secondary School in Mjindi, in the city of Mbombela local municipality, Noluthando Fina Vilankulu, who made history as the first grade 10 learner in the province to receive a tablet under this program. Naya bengiphethe, I wanted to show you, but Noluthando is here. As we celebrate all the 80,000 learners who will benefit from this initiative before the end of July 2026, we symbolically place the first device in her hands, trusting that she will use it as a gateway to knowledge and emancipation. What is inspiring, Honorable Speaker, is that Noluthando is also a top achiever at her school, having emerged as the best overall learner for the grade 10 2026 in the first term results. Noluthando represents our shared commitment, our determination as a department, and a promise that Ubuhle Buzile e-learning program seeks to achieve. Through you, Honorable Speaker, allow me to request that Noluthando stands up for this house to appreciate her. Noluthando, where you are. All the best, my baby. We will continue, Honorable Speaker, to strengthen smart school initiatives, support existing e-learning programs, and provide both online and offline digital resources to ensure equitable access, particularly in our rural areas. Our goal is free from any ambiguity, and it is to ensure that every learner is equipped with the skills required to thrive in a digital world. Please allow me, the gadget of mine is now disabling me. The department, Honorable Speaker, has set aside 981 million to achieve this goal of digital resources to equip our learners and our teachers. Honorable Speaker, what is more encouraging is the fact that this province does guarantee that each learner who enters our system progresses and does not drop out at any early age or is unnecessarily retained. Except for those learners who will be diverting to the TVET colleges after grade 9. But now we've got 76.5% of our learners that are making it through to grade 12 with their age cohort. This is a commendable considering goals that have been set by the National Development Plan 2030. In essence, Honorable Speaker, we confirm that our province throughput rate stands at 76.5%. Logo ke, Honorable Speaker, kusho ukuthi izingane zethu ziqala isikolo zize zifinyelele emabangeni aphezulu alungele ukuthi ziphothule amabanga aphakeme ngesikhathi esifanele. Kuyimpumelelo edinga ukuthi siyijabulele thina siwumphakathi wala eMpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, the department has already targeted ukuthi sibe ne throughput now rate of 85% in the next 5 years. Sifuna abantwana bethu bonke mabangena esikolweni baze baqedele isikolo. To achieve this target, Honorable Speaker, we will maintain our focus on strengthening school management working closely with our parents through the school governing bodies, promote functional schools, and conduct regular systematic evaluations on learners and school performances. To further improve this, the department continues to provide social security nets such as no-fee paying schools, National School Nutrition Program, scholar transport, and state-funded boarding schools, to name but a few. Honorable Speaker, the department continues to invest significantly in teacher development because we know, Guti, even if we can do all the strides, but if our teachers are not well developed, we may not reach what we want to reach. Our teacher development program includes ongoing training, strengthening subject content knowledge, and improving assessment practices. Teachers are being supported through workshops, professional development programs, and the use of teacher development centers such as hubs and pedagogic excellence. In addition, Honorable Speaker, there is a targeted on-site support for teachers in underperforming schools to ensure that they are fully equipped to deliver quality education as expected. We wish to take this opportunity to extend our appreciation to education sector unions for ensuring that their members are fully capacitated, and as well as their involvement in the Education Labor Relations Council. We take pride as a department in the quality of our teachers in our province. This is demonstrated by their involvement in different empowerment platforms, both nationally and internationally. Honorable Speaker, I wish to take this opportunity to pay my respect to one of our teachers, Mr. Thulani Sibiya, who was honored the National Best Teacher Award in 2025 at the occasion of the National Teaching Awards. Mr. Sibiya is the embodiment of the caliber of teachers in our province and a true role model for the generations to come. Those who aspire to be good and capable teachers do not look further. They can get their inspiration from him. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Sibiya has graced this occasion, and through your indulgence, allow me to request him to stand up as the House salute him. Mr. Sibiya, our best teacher. The department has set aside 30 million towards the teacher development and appreciation program. Honorable members of this House, we are very much clear in our understanding that the success of our education system is built on a strong foundation. For this reason, we continue to prioritize early childhood development and foundational learning, particularly on reading for meaning, language, and numeracy. The province is currently providing a subsidy of 24 Rand per child per day for 22 days a month, over 83,700 learners, ensuring that more young learners have access to early learning opportunities. We are strengthening the training and upskilling of ECD practitioners through the NQF-aligned qualification to improve the quality of teaching and learning in the early years of our children. We are making great strides, Honorable Speaker, to sustain efforts to expand access, strengthen educator capacity, and deepen early learning interventions so that every child enters school equipped with the necessary foundational skills. This expansion of access is heightened through the Banapili campaign to increase the number of registered ECD centers in our province. These investments are about quality, equity, to ensure improved school readiness, expanded access to quality ECD services, and stronger foundation phase outcomes in line with our provincial priorities and the medium-term development plan. Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 563 million to advance all ECD-related programs in the current financial year. Honorable Speaker, the Basic Education Law Amendment, the Bela Bill, provides for the formal recognition and phased in the implementation of Grade R as part of the compulsory education system. It is for this reason that as a department, we have made an allocation of 837 million that we have set aside to support this progressive realization of this provision. As a result, we expect to see an increased enrollment in Grade R for all our children, irrespective of their abilities or disabilities. In mathematics and science and technology, we are intensifying targeted interventions, including extra classes, learner support programs, and the use of digital platforms to enhance learning, participation, and pass rates, especially in the STEM subjects. We are very much determined, Honorable Speaker, to improve performance in these critical subjects, as they are the key to unlock the future opportunities for our learners. To this end, honorable members, we are making a clarion call to the provincial community to assist us as a department to demystify the perception that mathematics and physical science are difficult subjects. You know, our learners would be capable of counting only if the requisite support that they need and motivation is enforced. That is why I'm going to request all of us, starting from us as honorable members here. This is also exemplified by Sinenhlanhla Sikhulile Nkosi of Sintintile Secondary School in Gwanyamazane, Honorable Speaker, who was crowned the national winner of the 2026 South African Youth Water Prize. For this achievement, Sinenhlanhla will represent South Africa at the prestigious Stockholm Junior Water Prize in Sweden in September this year. Honorable Speaker, I made an effort that he honors us with his presence today. I therefore request through you, Honorable Speaker, that this House congratulate him as he stands up from the gallery. Can you please stand up, Sinenhlanhla? Well done, well done, well done, my boy.
Deputy Speaker.
You may take a seat, Honorable MEC.
But sine problem ngoba bonke labantu bangala emva kwethu asikhona ukubabona nibovani balethe ngala. Sesigcine ukujikisa inhloko. Everyone is this side. No, it's unfair.
All right.
No, it can't be. You must correct that.
Okay. It's noted. Equally, all right. Yeah, honorable members, equally they can be at the back of the invitee. Okay. We must try to deviate to actually use what we can at our disposal, unfortunately. Honorable MC, you may proceed. Thank you, Honorable Mkabela, for a break.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This demonstrates, Honorable Speaker, that quality STEM education equips our learners with the skills to address real-world challenges and become future leaders in terms of innovations. The O.R. Tambo Mathematics, Science and Technology Academy at Emalahleni is being resourced to enable the department and its partners to advance this course. Therefore, the department has set aside 78 million towards the attainment of this goal. Honorable Speaker, the department prioritized the provision of National School Nutrition Program to alleviate poverty and enhance learning outcomes. This program aligns with Mpumalanga's broader goals of improving access to quality education and addressing socio-economic challenges. This program, Honorable Speaker, is provided to 1,511 quintile 1 to 3 schools that are benefiting 1,025,000 learners in over 195 school days. Following a successful pilot program, Honorable Speaker, the department is from this year onwards extending the provision of breakfast to all learners in quintile 1 to 3. The National School Nutrition Program supports 5,944 food handlers contributing to a sustainable livelihoods for their families. The department has set aside 1.04 billion for the success of this program. As the department, we are further encouraging schools to establish food gardens, promoting fresh produce and long-term food security. In this regard, a total of 230 expanded public works program beneficiaries were recruited to support the key community-based initiatives. These beneficiaries comprises of 85 childminders, 145 food gardeners, whose stipend is fully funded through the EPWP incentive grant, and they consist of 55% young people, 98% women, and 2% disabled persons. The recruitment of these beneficiaries contributes to job creation and the provision of essential services that is aimed at promoting early childhood development and enhancing household food security within our communities. Honorable Speaker, the department has set aside 5.1 million towards the success of this program. Siyaqhuba, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The seventh administration is intensifying the eradication of unsafe and community-built schools. We have completed in July 2025 Kodite Secondary School in Tulamahashi Circuit. 4 schools are presently under construction, which is Shanke, Kokovela, Chayaza, and Sidlamafa Secondary Schools. These schools are expected to be completed in 2027. 3 schools commenced with construction in this financial year: Imanyagata Primary, Mahluche Primary, and Mavimbela Primary. Kwajeluse Primary, Hlakuvani Primary, Mabahule Secondary, and Saselani Primary are in the planning and design phase. The department has prioritized 10 more schools wherein unsafe structures will be demolished, and the school will be provided with 8 classrooms each. These are Mokhalishe Primary, Motsamo Primary, Morey Primary, Likokote Primary,
Speaker.
Chief SW Ntapo.
Speaker.
May you take your seat, Honorable MC? Yes, Honorable Khabi.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I think the MEC is misleading the House in terms of saying that the Gudidi High School is finished. It's not. That school, when they open it without some snack things, and that snacks still remains till today.
Okay,
So that school is not finished.
it's okay. It's still okay, Honorable members. Honorable MEC, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. These are Mahahashe Primary School, Matsamo, Morey, Likokote, Chief SW Ntapo, Mzinti Primary, Danie Primary, Msinyane Primary, Skumansdal Combined, and Popolo Primary. The department is further fixing 4 schools, which is Bad Plus Lair, Klebspraid Combined, Nelsville Primary, and Hlangalezwe Primary, to ensure safer learning and teaching environment. The department is undertaking infrastructure projects which involve construction of new schools in overcrowded areas, especially in fast-growing towns. Currently, Honorable Speaker, 4 new schools are being completed and will be ready for occupation this year. These schools are Langa Secondary School in Komazi, Silulu Secondary School in Komazi, Long-Term Secondary School in Mashishin, and Extension 24 Rockdale Primary School in Steve Chwete. Perekop Secondary School in Dr. Pixlika Isaka Seme is planned to be completed early next year, while the construction of the phase 2 of Folcras Primary School will commence in this financial year. 3 other schools are earmarked for planning and design within this financial year. This will be a primary school in White River in the city of Mbombela local municipality, and a primary and secondary school in Siangoba at Emalahleni local municipality. Honorable Speaker, overall, the department is working around the clock to improve educational infrastructure despite financial constraints, setting the stage for enhanced learning environments. Honorable Speaker, at the beginning of this academic year, 81 schools were damaged by the storms. and the department had to reprioritize its plans to accommodate these schools, 42 of which are now being fixed in this financial year. We can now say that we know the infrastructure condition of our schools, the 1,628 within the province. As a department, we are using Education Facilities Management System, EFMS, a web-based platform to assess, monitor, and manage school infrastructure across the province. This serves as the official repository for the information on school facilities, immovable assets, and ongoing infrastructure province, capturing detailed data on the condition of buildings to support evidence-based planning and investment decisions. As a dynamic system, the EFMS is continuously updated as a projects are completed and new assessments are conducted, meaning figures may change over time. The EFMS also classifies schools using the school conditioning rating method, which evaluates infrastructure based on the structural integrity, safety, functionality, and compliance with the norms and standards across all key facility components. Honorable Speaker, based on the 2025 condition assessment that has been done, the department has identified 61 schools that are classified as very poor. To address the backlogs and the school infrastructure improvement, during the current financial year, the department has allocated 1.9 billion. Within this amount, 301 million is specifically directed towards projects that are targeting schools classified for immediate attention. It is important, Honorable Speaker, to note that many of these projects are implemented over multiple financial years due to their scale and complexity. We are very much grateful to our implementing agencies, including the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport, under the stewardship of MEC Tomo, for their support in this regard. To ensure that all learners are not exposed to unsafe or undignified learning conditions, the department implements immediate mitigation measures whenever infrastructure risks are identified at that particular point in time. These measures include the provision of mobile classrooms or other temporary facilities while permanent solutions are being developed and implemented. In addition, Honorable Speaker, the department has launched the Ranza Shikolo Shawena campaign to mobilize our communities, our parents, our alumni, and our local stakeholders to become the first line of defense in protecting our schools against vandalism, theft, breaking, and infrastructure damage. This campaign also encourages volunteerism and community participation in basic school rehabilitation initiatives. Furthermore, schools receive annual maintenance allocation representing approximately 13% of their operational budgets. SGBs are encouraged, Honorable Speaker, to ensure ukuthi these funds are utilized for their intended purposes, which is to upkeep preservations and maintenance of school infrastructure. We are truly grateful to the business sector for investing their resources to improve school infrastructure and support a range of education-related initiatives in our province. Their investments add value, and it is very much highly appreciated. As a department, we remain steadfast in our commitment to progressively improve learning and teaching environments, eliminate unsafe structure, eradicate infrastructure backlogs, and ensure that every learner in Mpumalanga has access to safe, functional, and dignified educational facilities. Honorable Speaker, one of the key challenges we are actively addressing is the provision of the adequate learner furniture. The department acknowledges and appreciates the valuable collaboration with the Department of Correctional Services, whose support is refurbishing and rehabilitating existing school furniture and has significantly contributed to alleviating of these challenges. To further strengthen these efforts, the department has allocated 92 million towards the procurement of the new school furniture. Honorable Speaker, June is observed as the Youth Month, honoring the role played by young people in the struggle for liberation on the 16th of June 1976. So 2026 marks the 50th anniversary commemoration of the Youth Uprising, a day that altered the course of history and defined our country's future. In commemoration of the Youth Month, Honorable Speaker, the department reflects with pride on the progress that we have made thus far, while reaffirming our commitment to advancing sustainable youth empowerment initiatives. Central to this commitment, it is the continued promotion of mother tongue-based bilingual education through ongoing community engagement roadshow. This initiative is particularly significant as it responds to the historical struggle of the youth of 1976, who advocated for the right to equitable and meaningful education, including the recognition of language as a fundamental pillar of learning and identity. Currently, honorable members, 37.2% of the department workforce comprises of young people, with a total of 11,537 young professionals appointed across various positions, including teachers, school management teams. The department facilitates the integration of youth development into all its plans, programs, and day-to-day implementation of decisions, while deliberately ensuring that implementation of pro-youth programs to add impetus in the quest for government to address unemployment, poverty, and inequality. The department is doing everything humanly possible to promote youth entrepreneurship, support our top students with bursaries, and expose the out-of-school youth to empowerment programs and critical skills. We're training out-of-school youth in accredited skills programs to enable their participation in the economy. Equally, we're providing the requisite space to young people to participate in the learnerships and internships. Honorable Speaker, the Mpumalanga Regional Training Trust remains central to our efforts to equip the people of Mpumalanga with skills required to participate meaningfully in the economy and contribute to the development of our province. During this 2026-27 financial year, MRTT will focus on the following programs. They are going to train more than 350 learners on SACA accredited skills programs. They are going to empower 140 learners through customized training. They are going to place 250 learners for coaching, mentoring, and workplace exposure. They are going to enroll 160 learners for artisan development, and they are going to assess and trade test more than 100 learners. Honorable Speaker, the first program, the Hospitality and Tourism Academy, will continue to support the growth of the Mpumalanga most important economic sectors. Through accredited training programs in hospitality, culinary arts, and tourism services, MRTT will help develop the workforce required to support the province's expanding tourism industry. The second program is Technical Training Operations, which remains the core of MRTT's skills development offering. This program will continue providing training in critical artisan and occupational trades, including plumbing, bricklaying, carpentry, boiler making, automotive mechanics, and related other skills. The entity has also applied for additional accreditation for coded welding and arc welding and awaits the responses from the relevant authorities. These programs are designed to address skill shortages within our province. The MRTT is hard at work renovating the Kapogweni and Ekandastria training centers to be QCTO compliant. These centers will be utilized for assessment and trade testing. Through partnership with CITAS, industry stakeholders, government departments, and donor organizations, MRTT will leverage additional funding and workplace-based learning opportunities to maximize impact and improve employabilities of our young children in this province. We recognize, Honorable Speaker, that the government funding alone is insufficient to meet the growing demands for skills development. Consequently, the board and the management have been mandated to diversify revenue streams and strengthen partnership with the private sector, development agencies, and strategic investors. This approach will improve financial sustainability while expanding access to training opportunities for our young people. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, for 26-27 financial year, the department has allocated an amount of 120 million to advance the course of MRTT programs. Honorable Speaker, department is strengthening the Mpumalanga Education Development Trust, a partnership between business, government, and civil society that adopts the whole district approach to schooling. This collaboration facilitates institutional industry partnership leading to the provision of additional classroom, eradication of pit latrines, connectivity in our schools, and other initiatives that are very much relevant. Already, Honorable Speaker, the department has established partnership with various organizations, including Standard Bank, Sasol, MTN, Celsi, Vodacom, Nyanda Mine, Conservation South Africa, Barberton Mine, Seriti, Rainwater Foundation, Sanral, just to name a few. These partners support various projects, including but not limited to improving learner performance, connectivity in our schools, school infrastructure, construction, e-learning, agriculture, coding, and robotics. We're very much grateful for ongoing support which we are receiving from the National Education Development Trust, NECT, which assists us in advancing the functionality and efficiency of our district. The department, Honorable Speaker, will in July convene an education business sector engagement to look at how best we can enforce more impactful and sustainable collaborations. We are very much grateful for the memorandum of understanding that we have signed as a province with the University of Mpumalanga, and we are already exploring areas for further advancement. On our special school, Honorable Speaker, the department continues to expand access to education for learners experiencing barriers to learning and development in public mainstream schools, aligning with the Education White Paper, the South African Schools Act, and the Children's Act, as well as the SIAS policy. Currently, 125 full-service schools provide support to learners with moderate learning barriers, aiming to eliminate barriers to learning within an inclusive education system. Learners with disabilities in Mpumalanga face ongoing challenges despite progress in recognizing their needs. The department maintains 19 special schools catering for learners requiring specialized support. Notably, Honorable Speaker, the planning for School of the Deaf and Blind in the Malahleni municipality is at an advanced stage. Stage 2 has been completed and was soon to complete Stage 3, which will commence in November 2026. An amount of 100 million has been provided for the infrastructure budget. This project highlights the department's commitment to enhancing educational opportunities for learners with disabilities, aligning with broader national efforts to ensure inclusive and quality education for all. The focus for this special school reflects the province's priorities in addressing the needs for learners with disabilities and ensure that they receive the specialized support that they require. Planning and design to provide boarding facility in Masinagane Special School is also underway this financial year. So the department has set aside 573 million to improve delivery of education for special schools across the province, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I'm about to conclude, I wish to extend our appreciation to all our stakeholders as a department who not only believe in our collective vision, but also embraced it in everything they do and in everything they say. We are truly grateful to honorable members of the Portfolio Committee under the stewardship of Honorable Tulsi Lekoza, who continue to give due guidance and support in all our instances, and we don't take that for granted. We remain humbled by the support the department received from a range of stakeholders, including Association of School Governing Bodies, education sector unions, non-governmental organizations, civic organizations, business sector, religious institutions, and the broader community of the people of this beautiful province, the place of the rising sun, and beyond. I further wish to extend my appreciation to all members of the senior management in the department, guided by the HOD, Ms. Moyane, our district officials, circuit managers, principals, and all educators for making sure that education thrives in Mpumalanga. We are truly indebted to our Honorable Premier, Mr. Imandla Ndlovu, who remains the pillar of strength to us as a department and to the people of this province. Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the movement of the people, my proud organization, the African National Congress, for entrusting me with this very huge responsibility. I want to thank my office and my family for ensuring that I am able to navigate these uncharted waters with their prayers and support. In the words of Julius Nyerere, and I quote, "Education is not a way to escape poverty, it is a way of fighting it," and I close quote. Through this budget, Honorable Speaker, we reaffirm our commitment to using education as the foremost tool to confront inequality and build shared emancipation for all. Honorable Speaker, I therefore hereby table the 2026-27 budget vote for the Department of Education and humbly request that this House approves the amount of 30.6 billion allocation for the Department of Education to advance the cause of education delivery to the citizens of this province, the province of the rising sun, Mpumalanga. Ngiyabonga, Honorable Speaker. #Ranza Sikolo Shawena. #Babize Bonke. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, for a well-delivered budget speech. Thank you. I'll now invite the Secretary to read the 8th order of the day. Sorry.
Order number 6, consideration and debate on report of the Portfolio Committee on Education, vote number 7, Department of Education.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Honorable T.S. Koza, to table the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Portfolio Committee on Education to table the reports for the Department of Education, vote 7 for both education and MRTT to this August House to be considered and also approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I am advised that there is the speakers list in front of me. I will now then invite Honorable T.S. Koza from the ANC. You are allocated 8 minutes. Honorable members, I've indicated that I will only take stability in this House. And the last rule I've read, I will also recall it again. Honorable Koza, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. To the Honorable MECs, Honorable members of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable members of this Legislature, heads of departments, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans present here, and those who are following on various social media platforms. It is a profound honor to rise on behalf of the African National Congress and participate in this budget vote 7 for the Department of Education. Honorable Deputy Speaker, The 1955 Freedom Charter remains the ideological bedrock of the African National Congress. Its clarion call that the doors of learning and culture shall be opened continues to guide our movement and our government. The Charter demands education that is free, compulsory, universal, and equal for all children. It demands total abolition of the color bar in education and cultural life. It also demands access to universities and technical training for all, supported by state allowances and scholarships awarded on merit. It demands a mass state education plan to eradicate adult illiteracy. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in fidelity to that vision, the ANC has prioritized early childhood development, strengthened foundational literacy and numeracy, and pursued equitable funding so that schools in impoverished communities are no longer condemned to under-resourcing. It has opened higher education to the masses through the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, ensuring that no academically deserving student is denied access due to poverty. It also has resolved to modernize the curriculum, integrating mental health, digital and technological literacy, while confronting the spatial and infrastructural imbalances left by apartheid. And it has invested decisively in skills for the economy, expanding vocational training and championing mathematics, science, and technology advocacy to prepare our youth for the fourth industrial revolution. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the ANC led achievements in education. I think, Honorable Deputy Speaker, this House must note with appreciation the tangible achievements delivered by this ANC-led department. On digital transformation, this year, 2026, the department rolled out fully configured tablets preloaded with e-books and past exam papers to learners in quintile 1 to 3 schools across multiple circuits. We are closing the digital divide, Honorable Deputy Speaker. On academic excellence, this province continues to produce top national achievers in the National Senior Certificate, earning commendation from the Department of Basic Education. On STEM revolution, we have established 26 agricultural schools, 54 technical schools, and 101 mathematics, science, and technology academy schools to anchor STEM learning and innovation. On global excellence, Honorable Deputy Speaker, our learners took first place at the National South African Water Prize and represented our country with distinction in Stockholm, Sweden. On safe schools and active communities, through the Ranja Shikolo Shawena campaign and the Provincial School Safety Indaba, communities have been mobilized to reclaim schools and combat violence. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our history compels us to reflect under apartheid, race and class determined the quality of a child's education. It was the regime of Boma Konjwang and Hlogo, a system that decided your future by the color of your skin. Today, Honorable Deputy Speaker, under the ANC-led government, we have dismantled that architecture of exclusion. We have built an education system founded on non-racialism, redress, and inclusion for all, regardless of race, color, or creed. The ANC supports the budget tabled by Honorable MEC Masina because it consolidates gains we committed to in 2018-2019. We promised to address the infrastructure backlog, and we have delivered state-of-the-art boarding schools. Today, Honorable Deputy Speaker, learners with special needs no longer feel forgotten. This ANC-led government affirms their dignity. We have built specialized schools, trained educators in Braille, curriculum adaptation, and South African Sign Language, and ensured the provision of assistive devices. No child is left behind. In conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the budget is the bridge to freedom. The late ANC stalwarts, President Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, reminded us when he said, and I quote, "Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that the child of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation," unquote. That vision is not poetry, it is policy, it is this budget. For without resources, the doors of learning remain closed. Without this appropriation, the Freedom Charter is deferred. Without this budget, the dreams of our children are placed on hold. Therefore, let this August House be unambiguous. The African National Congress supports this budget, not as an act of routine, but as an act of revolution. A revolution that says every classroom we build, every tablet we deliver, every teacher we train is a blow against the legacy of Bantu education. We are not just passing a budget today, Honorable Deputy Speaker. We are passing a baton to the next generation of doctors, engineers, artisans, and yes, presidents. The African National Congress supports the budget vote 7 for the Department of Education and MRTT. Ngiyabonga somlomo.
Thank you very much. We now invite Honorable GM Demande from MK Party, who's allocated 4 minutes in addition with other 4 from Honorable Bungane Mtsweni, who's not going to be participating on this debate. So your time is allocated to 8 minutes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Greetings to yourself and honorable members in the legislature, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the big question asked is, will this budget give Mpumalanga children dignity, equality, and respect? The answer is a big no, and more disappointment. This budget does not speak to the needs and challenges faced by the youth. During the uprising of the June 16, 1976, thousands of young black students marched peacefully to protest against the apartheid government, who was forcing that Afrikaans be the language of instruction in schools. It was not only about the Afrikaans language, but it was about the dignity and equality of all black children. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this month of June is regarded as a youth month, whereby we remember and honor the student who died fighting for equality. It is exactly 50 years, and how our youth are facing more challenges, like schools which are falling apart with no water and electricity, pit toilets, mental health, and drugs that are the order of the day. I wanted to repeat, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, that our schools are facing pit toilets. Schools are in rains in Msugalikwa Township. Many schools still have pit toilets. I will repeat this word again, pit toilets, because bomama ungani ngiphinda le ndaba yama pit toilets. It's because dignity abantwana bethu sibaletha emhlabeni after 9 months, but kuba disgrace uthole umntwana umthumele esikolweni umthole sekasethuneni okuthiwa yi-toilet. It is very, very embarrassing, and this government is promoting that. Leaking roofs and cracked classrooms. It is so difficult for learners who are staying far away, who are using buses for long distances, getting into the school, very tired, they are late, and they are sick. Especially in our specialized or special schools. That is why MK Party is emphasizing that all special schools must have boarding facilities, so that these learners can be in the approximately of the school. How can we support this budget whereby there is no safety in our schools? Learners and teachers are always exposed to danger, drugs, overcrowding, and high failure rate, especially boy children who are disengaged. This is embarrassing. One school in Bethel, called Mzinoni Secondary School, is infested by gangsterism, and they do as they wish, and there is no tangible intervention from the department, and the SGB are not trained on how to manage such situations. This is because of the lack of sports facilities. Learners, if they don't have anything to do, they will involve themselves in gangsterism. More children, even girls, are faced with the problem of high rate of pregnancy because the schools, there are no facilities for sports and other cultural activities. We need a budget that will address the issue of pit toilets and upgrading township schools in 2026 and 27. Give us a number, not narratives. This challenge of pit toilets is a very, very serious matter, especially to our girl children. Ihlazo leli elenzekayo. Post-provincial schools in rural Mpumalanga still teach maths and science with unqualified educators. We lose learners to drop out because no teacher came. How many posts are vacant right now? And when will they be filled? We will be filled. Learners, teacher support materials are not delivered in our schools. We are encouraging that our learners must learn, or they must be farmers in agricultural schools. But some of these schools, there are no textbooks, nothing. Our learners depend on school nutrition. For many children, the school meal is the only meal. Yet we hear of late deliveries, poor quality food. If a child is hungry, he cannot or she cannot learn, and she cannot concentrate. Will the budget protect the National School Nutrition Program? And we know about the corruption that is happening there. People are fighting for the food of these learners. We have schools where learners cannot read for meaning, especially in grade 4. The budget must fund early childhood development and foundation phase, and training of facilitators for this foundation phase. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the youth of 1976 fought for the future. The youth of 2026 need skills and jobs. The MK party cannot endorse a budget that ignores the ground reality. We demand the following: stop giving tenders to friends and families, and stop giving tenders to that particular person that I mentioned before. Ring fence money to the 50 weight school in Mpumalanga. Deputy Speaker, deploy safety officer to all high-risk school near taverns, drugs hub. Partner with the Department of Community Safety for monthly operation. Youth sports and skills. Every district must get at least one upgraded sports facilities and one technical subject stream added to the school in 2026 and 2027 budget. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, the children of 1976 gave their lives for education. The children of 2026 deserve education that gives them life. Do not budget for statistics, budget for human being. Budget for a child in Westleton who travels 5 kilometers without transport to reach a broken school. Fix the schools, fund the future, honor the student of 1976. The MK party does not support this budget. We reject it. Kwazam Konto.
All right, it's okay. Yeah, Honorable Mkabela from EFF. You are allocated 6 honorable members. No. Take it easy. You may proceed, Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Let me start off by sending our special greetings to Hoshi Mukwena in absentia, our provincial chair. Oh, sorry. I looked there and I couldn't see. Let me greet Hoshi Mukwena and his team, our provincial chairperson, Commissar Colin Sedibe in absentia, the Speaker of Steve Chwete Municipality, Fighter Joseph Ngubeni in our midst, Honorable Deputy Speaker, MEC for Education, members of this legislature, the people of Mpumalanga, ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge the increased allocation of 30.6 billion to the Department of Education for the 26-27 financial year. As the EFF, we believe so much in investing on education because it is through education that we break the cycle of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. The EFF therefore welcomes all interventions aimed at improving access to quality education for the children of Mpumalanga, particularly those from working class and underprivileged communities. We acknowledge the implementation of the National School Nutrition Program because for many children, the meal they receive at school is often the only nutritious meal of the day. Any investment in learner nutrition is an investment in good educational outcomes. We further acknowledge the distribution of tablets to grade 10 learners and the expansion of coding and robotics programs to schools. Access to technology must not remain a privilege reserved for children from well-off backgrounds. The EFF also welcomes the increased allocation towards infrastructure development. We particularly support efforts to eradicate pit toilets by the end of the financial year. Honorable Deputy Speaker, while we acknowledge these positive developments, we cannot ignore the serious challenges that continue to undermine the quality of education in our province. Deputy Speaker, despite the budget increase year after year, schools remain disadvantaged despite institutional guarantees of equal access to quality education. The EFF maintains that quality education cannot be achieved when schools are expected to do more with insufficient resources. Moreover, Deputy Speaker, we are concerned that there is still a shortage of approximately 300 million for learning and teaching support materials. Textbooks and learning materials are not luxurious. They are basic tools required for teaching and learning. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the EFF is deeply concerned about the state of school infrastructure across Mpumalanga, as 81 schools still have asbestos roofing, 35 schools still have pit toilets, and 51 schools have non-functional boreholes. We further know that out of 81 schools that suffered storm-related damage in the previous financial year, 42 have been fixed and only 39 remaining. Honorable MEC, will request a speedy intervention. These conditions are unacceptable in a democratic South Africa. No learner should be expected to learn in unsafe classrooms, use dangerous sanitation facilities, or attend schools without the reliable access to water. We are equally concerned by the department's increasing dependence on mobile classrooms as a response to infrastructure backlogs. Temporary structures cannot become a permanent solution. Learners deserve fully serviced schools with proper classrooms, laboratories, libraries, sanitation, and sporting facilities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the EFF remains concerned about the state of inclusive education. While there has been an increase in funding for special schools, many learners with disabilities continue to face barriers to accessing education. Only a few of the special schools in the province have boarding facilities. Scholar transport also remains inadequate, particularly for learners living in rural communities. Speaker, we are also concerned about the continued delays in constructing the schools for the deaf, represent a failure to prioritize some of the most vulnerable learners in our education system. An education system that leaves behind children with disabilities cannot claim to be inclusive. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we are also concerned that learner safety remains a major challenge in our schools as bullying, violence, substance abuse, and sexual misconduct continue to threaten the well-being of learners and educators. The EFF has consistently argued that schools must become centers of learning, safety, and community development. School safety cannot be reduced to occasional campaigns and workshops. It requires permanent social workers, psychologists, counselors, and stronger collaboration with communities and law enforcement agencies. We are also concerned about the declining performance in mathematics and physical science. The EFF rejects the obsession with pass percentages while learners continue to struggle in critical entry subjects. The real measure of success is not only how many learners pass, but how many leave schools equipped with scientific, technical, and vocational skills. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in line with the EFF manifesto and the cardinal pillar that calls for quality education, healthcare, housing, and sanitation as fundamental human rights, we make the following recommendations. Firstly, the department must accelerate the eradication of asbestos classroom, pit toilets, and unsafe infrastructure through dedicated ring-fenced funding and strict implementation timeline. Scholar transport must be expanded, particularly for rural learners and learners with disabilities. No learner should be denied access to education because of distance or transport challenges. The department must prioritize special schools by increasing boarding facilities, specialized support services, and accessible infrastructure. Vacant educator, therapists, support staff, and administrative posts must be filled urgently to improve service delivery and learner support. The rollout of ICT infrastructure must be accompanied by internet connectivity, security measures, technical support, and teacher training, particularly in rural and under-resourced schools. Speaker, finally, greater investment must be directed towards mathematics, science, technology,
Your
and
English is
vocational.
exhausted.
We support the budget.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I now call upon Honorable T.R. Ngonyane from the ANC. You are allocated 8 minutes, ma'am. Your English starts now.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Allow me to stand on a protocol that has already been established by my 4 colleagues who have stood on this podium before me. It is a privilege to rise on behalf of the African National Congress to support the 2026 to 2027 Budget Vote 7 of the Department of Education. This budget affirms our unwavering commitment to the transformation of society through education. It reflects the ANC-led government understanding that education remains one of the most powerful instruments in the fight against poverty, unemployment, and inequality. As Minister Dr. K. Ramahupa has correctly observed, the true weight of a nation lies not in its natural resources, but in the knowledge, skills, and capabilities of its people. Today, we are not merely debating a budget, we are debating the future productive capacity of our province and the aspiration of a new generation of young South Africans. Honorable Speaker, the ANC-led government understands that every learner sitting in a classroom today represents the future teacher, entrepreneur, scientist, engineer, a doctor, an artisan, a farmer, or a public servant. The decision we take in this house today will determine whether those young people are equipped to participate meaningfully in the economy of tomorrow. We therefore welcome the substantial investment made by the provincial government in education, which once again receives the largest share of our provincial budget. This demonstrates our collective understanding that the future of Mpumalanga depends on education, development, and empowerment of its children and youth. Honorable Speaker, this budget will strengthen the delivery of quality teaching and learning across our province. We particularly welcome the continued investment in school infrastructure, ensuring that learners are taught in safe, dignified, and conducive environment. Every classroom built and every school renovated and every facility improved is a concrete investment in the future of our people. It is an investment in hope, it is an investment in dignity, it is an investment in the developmental state as envisaged by the Freedom Charter. We further acknowledge the allocation set aside to repair schools damaged by several weather conditions, where the provision of mobile classroom became necessary. Every learner deserves access to safe and conducive learning environment, regardless of their geographical location or socio-economic circumstances. Honorable Speaker, the ANC further applauds the department's commitment to improve learning performance through targeted interventions, learner development programs, curriculum supports, and learner performance improvement initiatives. We continue to advance better educational outcomes and improve pass rate. However, our ambition must extend beyond pass rate alone. We must produce learners who are critical thinkers, problem solvers, innovators, and active citizens capable of contributing meaningfully to the development of our democracy. We also acknowledge the important role played by the school nutrition. For many learners, meal received at school is often the most nutritious meal of the day. This program not only supports learners but also protects the dignity and well-being of the vulnerable children from poor households. Honorable Speaker, the ANC believes that education is not merely an expenditure item in a budget. It is an investment in human capital. It is an investment in the future doctor, engineer, teacher, entrepreneur, artisan, innovators, and leaders who will drive the development of our province and our country. As a generation entrusted with building the future, we have a responsibility to ensure that every young person in Mpumalanga is given an opportunity to release their full potential. As we support the budget vote 7 of the Department of Education, we reaffirm our commitment to the vision of a capable, ethical, and developmental state that leaves no child behind. Together, let us build an educational system that equips every learner with knowledge, skill, value, and opportunities to succeed. Together, let us build a province where talent is nurtured, where dreams are released, and opportunities are accessible to all. Honorable Speaker, the ANC therefore fully supports the 2026 to 2027 budget vote 7 of the Department of Education. Nyabo.
Thank you very much. I now take the opportunity and invite Honorable Weber from DA. You are allocated 5 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. It is of great importance for the Department of Education to pass its budget to ensure that the learners of Mpumalanga's constitutional rights to basic education are met and continuous, uninterrupted service delivery for learners guaranteed. The Education Department of Mpumalanga consumes the largest share of the provincial budget, over 40%. Passing it ensures funding for non-negotiables like the school's nutrition program, learner and teacher supply materials, and the remuneration of teachers and support staff. Conditional grants are needed to clear massive infrastructure backlogs, maintain buildings, and build new schools to cater for the province's rapidly growing population. The budget is the primary tool to hold the Executive Council accountable, ensuring taxpayers' money is used transparently. Is it acceptable that breakfast is given only to learners whose schools are selected in the pilot project? Is it acceptable that the Education Department spends 89% of its budget on the cost of employees as the rise of personal costs to dominate the expenditure, leaving limited resources for teaching and learning? Is it acceptable that scholar transport, nutrition programs and no-fee schools face rising financial demands, which are stretching the availability budget very thin to the cost where many schools' electricity is cut due to non-payment? Is it acceptable that the original plan and budget for Mukone Boarding School was 3 years and 200 million rand and ended up taking 8 years and costing almost 1 billion rand? Surely this is not good planning and budgeting. The Deaf and Blind School is now 15 years in the making. In less than 24 months, 100 million rand has been spent for just the Imalahleni site on EIAs and design. Yet, no stone has been turned, no brick laid, nothing. Schools damaged by storms since 2022 are still without roofs. According to Treasury, 11 million was allocated to fix these schools, but not a single roof has been fixed yet. Is this effective planning and budgeting? I don't think so. Overcrowding, sanitation issues, and incomplete school projects are at the order of the day. Mobile classrooms are delivered at some schools, and pit toilets are still being used. The Premier promised 29 schools and that these schools were going to be Unos and not Porsches. Is it quality education where learners share a table or have no chairs to sit on, being 99 in a class? No teacher can teach 99 learners at a time. Special schools are still being treated as a stepchild of the department, as these schools face insufficient funding for learning and teaching supply materials and operational needs, limiting support for learners with disabilities. And parents must carry the full cost of their children. 1.8 billion for housing allowance for staff within the department that didn't qualify for it. How do you make a mistake like this? It will take years to get all the money back. Was disciplinary action taken against the implicated officials? Ghost workers. In 2024, there were 6 million spent on ghost workers with the promise the department had sorted it out. But at the end of 2025, we were standing on 19 million rand on ghost workers, increasing, not decreasing. I received a complaint stating that there is a principal that has allegedly been receiving her full salary for the past 8 years, but has been retired for the past 8 years. The department appointed an acting principal in that position without the benefits of the position he holds, as someone else is unduly benefiting. The DA have continuously asked the MEC at the department for a list of all acting teachers, deputy principals and principals, and what the reason are that these positions are acting and not being permanent. MRTT has been looking for CEO for 6 years. 3 weeks ago, we were informed that the interviews for the CEO cost the taxpayer 355,000 rand just to appoint a CEO. Safety and security in schools are non-existent, as schools have no fencing. Learners and teachers have no regard for the bullying policy, as is with the paper it is written on. Mpumalanga schools are rife with stabbings, with one learner dying this year. May his soul rest in peace. This debate should not just be about approving the budget. It's about the department correctly budgeting, planning, and the meticulous execution and monitoring of the budget. I think the department needs to relook the way they execute and monitor the budget and ensure that a good quality education is delivered to all learners in Mpumalanga. Currently, our learners are not receiving a basic education, never mind a good education. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. I now invite Honorable F.T. Mashiane from Action SA. 3 minutes is allocated, Madam.
Let me also stand on the protocol that has been observed. Honourable Speaker, Action SA recognizes that education remains one of the most powerful tools available to break the cycle of poverty, unemployment and inequality. The department has allocated approximately 1.9 billion towards infrastructure development, an increase of more than 278 million from the previous financial year. This is noted and appreciated, but it must be stated plainly that increased funding means very little if implementation continues to lag behind and historical backlogs are allowed to persist year after year. The department reports that 81 schools still contain asbestos structures. At this pace, the eradication of unsafe infrastructure will take decades, leaving generations of learners exposed to hazardous conditions despite repeated budget increases. Action SA notes the intervention at Kusile Primary School and the provision of mobile classrooms. However, mobile classrooms are a temporary emergency measure that has now become a long-term substitute for proper infrastructure delivery. Communities such as Kapogweni have raised these concerns repeatedly, yet continue to receive stopgap solutions instead of permanent, dignified school infrastructure. Action SA acknowledges the allocation of 572 million towards special needs education. However, it is deeply concerning that only 64% of learners requiring scholar transport receive it. This means thousands of vulnerable learners are effectively left behind due to a failure in planning and execution. A child without transport is a child denied equal access to education. We further note the expansion of early childhood development and increased grade R enrollment. While this expansion is welcomed, it is not enough to increase access alone. The people of Mpumalanga will not judge this budget by its size or rhetoric. They will judge it by whether asbestos is removed, whether pit toilets are eradicated, whether scholar transport reaches every learner, and whether real improvements are seen in learning outcomes. On those measures, we cautiously support this budget, but spending must translate into measurable improvements for learners, not just improved allocation on paper. I thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll now invite Honorable Mulombo from the ANC. You're allocated 8 minutes. No. Yeah. Yini watoitoya nje. Wakhetha ukumasha ngokulate nje. Okay. No, we have clustered the numbers of the time allocated for Member Mtsweni as per the order of MK Party. You may proceed. Thank you for being so conscious.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate the opportunity that you have given to us by greeting you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, greeting the Speaker with whom I'm sitting down there, our Chief Whip, members of the Executive Council, the Chairperson of the House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders and President of Contralesa, Hoshim Kwena, my colleagues from the Legislature and distinguished guests in the gallery. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to participate in this debate because it offers us an opportunity to account to the people of this province and the country on how far this province, especially this Department of Education, has gone in transforming education in the province and ensuring that all children, irrespective of their color and ethnic origin, have access to quality education. In ensuring that the poor and the most vulnerable in society receive free and compulsory education, ensuring that our education is transformative and its aim is to teach the African child to love their people, their culture, and to honor human brotherhood and peace. To ensure that our children are safe and feel safe at school under good quality infrastructure. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I must indicate that I'm a member of the Portfolio Committee on Education, and the department appeared before us on the 4th of June to present their annual performance plan and budget. And that annual performance plan and budget indicates that the department has done exceedingly well in terms of the issues that I have just mentioned. Honorable Speaker, the ANC government has declared education as the apex priority because we as the ANC, we believe that education is the locomotive for economic emancipation because it is education that drives economic development. We believe that education serves as the ultimate incubation center for social development by equipping individuals with critical skills, fostering innovative mindset, and breaking the intergenerational cycle of poverty. We believe that education is the ultimate ladder which will be able to take our children out of poverty. We believe that education acts as the primary engine for social mobility because it stimulates growth and transforms human capital into portable skills. And lastly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we believe that education acts as the crucial equalizer in the economy of this province and the economy of the country. It is therefore against this background that the ANC-led government in this province has allocated the Department of Education 30,619,440,000, which the ANC supports and would request this August House to also support this allocation. We support this allocation because through the Ranza Shikolo Shawena, the department has made education fashionable and it has made education to be a collective social responsibility. We support this budget because this department has done exceedingly well during the 2025 for matric examination, where it achieved 88%. And now the department has set itself a target of achieving 91% in 2026, of which we believe that the department would be able to achieve that. We support this budget because the APP and the budget of the department conforms and complies to the basic education sector priorities, which the MEC have spoken to. But most importantly, those priorities are to ensure the improved access to early childhood development, to ensure improved infrastructure delivery, to enhance literacy and numeracy, to radically implement inclusive education, and to ensure the improved and empowered school management. We believe as the African National Congress that this 30 billion will be allocated to those programs. But we also support this budget as the African National Congress because this department has advanced technology development within the schooling systems in the province by ensuring that the majority of our learners have tablets through the Smart School initiative. We support this budget because this department has increased the number of the no-fee paying school and the rolling up of the National Schools nutrition program. We also support this budget because the department has rolled out the construction of schools across the province. I think we have heard the MEC talking to all schools, and these schools that are being constructed, they are not only in one region, but they are in fact across the province. The department has done exceedingly well in terms of the rolling out of the procurement of school furniture. Most schools today have got furniture. We have seen the rolling out of the artisan and schools training through the and skills training through the MRTT, which has in fact been radicalized. And lastly, the construction of boarding schools and boarding facilities in special schools. I must indicate, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that our Honorable MEC have defied the odds and have excelled. She has overcome significant obstacles. She has overcome difficult and challenging circumstances. As one philosopher would say, men make history, but they do not make it as they please. They do it under circumstances existing already, given and transmitted from the past. The ANC supports this budget. Thank you very much, Honorable
Thank you very much.
Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. I now take this opportunity and invite the Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, once again for this opportunity to come and they take some bite on what the members have just indicated through their debate. Let me take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, and say that I want to express my appreciation to all honorable members who participated in this very important debate today. The constructive inputs and observation that has been made by honorable members here, they contribute meaningfully to our collective responsibility of strengthening delivery of quality education in our province. We really want to appreciate. As a department, Honorable Speaker, we remain very much committed to working diligently and collaboratively with all stakeholders to advance the cause of education and ensure that every learner in Mpumalanga has access to quality education and quality teaching as expected. Honorable Speaker, regarding the concerns raised about the National School Nutrition Program, It is important that we indicate that the program is currently implemented at all quintile 1 to 3 schools across the province, as well as in all our special schools across the province. Department has dedicated monitors in all our 4 districts to make sure that they are complying in terms of what they are expected to deliver as the people or as the nutrition for our learners. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we want to confirm that our learners are getting nutritious meals that are accepted and that are at the standard as we speak. And I want to raise the matter that has been indicated that there's a principal who's getting salary after retirement. If we can be given that information so that proper investigation can be made, and then we deal with that matter. Honorable members also raised concerns regarding the school safety. This is a very sensitive and a very matter that is concerning for all members of this province. I think that is why you have seen us conducting a school safety in Daba, because we realize the necessity and the need to deal with this matter. As a result, the department has developed and implemented an integrated school safety plan for up to 2030 in collaboration with all the stakeholders, including the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaising, Health Department, Social Development, and South African Police Services, and all the municipalities as our partners. Honorable Speaker, I want to indicate that through this coordinated approach, we are strengthening the prevention, early intervention, and response mechanism to ensure that our schools remain safe and conducive, an environment that is conducive for our learners. With regards to mathematics, science, and technology, educators, the department's records indicate that all educators teaching these subjects possesses all the necessary requisite qualifications. If there's anyone that you know that does not have the requisite qualifications, please let us know, because according to our records, all those teachers do possess those qualifications. The department continues to invest in an ongoing professional development programs, as it has been indicated even in the debate. Subject content and enhancement initiative, curriculum support interventions, and the teacher training to strengthen classroom practice and improve learner outcomes. I think these are all parts of what we have presented as part of our budget presentation, because we are seeing a necessity that we need to do all this. We need to empower our teachers. We need to have an improvement plan for our learners. That is why there's allocation for all these things. One of the issue of learner support materials, the department provides schools annually with the opportunity to top up their textbooks as and when required. The process assists schools in replacing lost and damaged textbooks and ensure that textbooks availability remain acceptable at an acceptable levels to support effective teaching and learning. Honorable Deputy Speaker, while challenges remain, we are encouraged by the progress that is being made across the education sector within the province and across. We remain very steadfast in our commitment to accountability, service excellence, and continuous improvement as we work together to build a responsive and inclusive and a high-performing education system for the people of this province. Honorable Speaker, I must make mention that some of the members, you can note that they've already made their debate even before listening to the budget speech. So they did not even have to listen with, okay, these things that they are presenting now, they've already been mentioned. But thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much. Honorable members, that conclude the debate. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as presented.
Agreed.
Honorable Kosa. So agreed. I now invite the Secretary to read the 7th order of the day.
Order number 7, policy and budget speech on vote 3, which is Provincial Treasury.
I now call upon the Honorable MEC of Finance, Honorable Machuba, to deliver the budget speech. Okay, let's afford him an opportunity. You may start, MEC.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Why not let technology for no
Ncedeni Nkosi yami, ncedeni, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker. Greetings to the Speaker, Umama Makhosazana Masilela, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier in absentia, Mandla Ndlovu, Honorable Chief Whip, Makhabane, I avoid to say ever. Colleagues in the Executive Council, Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, Mamukethi Dlamini, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, Chairperson of the House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership, Babu Mkwena, Executive Mayors and members of Mayoral Committees on Finance, Director General, Head Official of the Provincial Treasury and other heads of department, leadership of the governing party and alliance partners, SACP, and the Secretary of the SACP, Ubabu Mbuyane, COSATU and SANCO, business community, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, I rise today in this esteemed legislature, still reeling from the passing of King Makosonke II, a revered leader who was celebrated for his commitment to his people's welfare and the preservation of culture in Mpumalanga. His reign was marked by efforts to strengthen the Amandebele kingdom while honoring its rich traditions. We thank President Cyril Ramaphosa for honoring our traditional leader and cultural authority with a fitting tribute and farewell this past weekend. Our heartfelt condolences go to his family, the traditional authorities, and the entire Amandebele, both within the province and across Africa. Just 2 days ago, our nation commemorated 50 years since 16 June 1976, under the theme, Reset at 50, the future calls. As we continue to observe this significant day throughout the month dedicated to young people, Frantz Fanon reminds us, open quote, each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill or betray it, close quote. The democracy that we enjoy today is a fulfillment of the mission discovered by the 1976 generation in collaboration with other generations. The youth of 1976 found their mission through struggle, fulfilled it, and created a platform for us to pursue shared prosperity for all. That shared prosperity has not yet been achieved. The level of inequality is still very high in our society. South Africa remains the most unequal society in the world. The current generation is obliged to find its own mission, of defeating inequality, unemployment, and poverty. They must, like the 1976 generation, continue the struggle to fulfill this generational mission of economic freedom. This can be achieved through focused efforts to grow the national and provincial economies, equitable budget allocation, and fiscal discipline, which are critical anchors for the success of the mission of the current generation. This is why the Provincial Treasury budget vote, which we are privileged to table today, is of great importance to this mission. The Provincial Treasury plays a crucial role in our province. It is responsible for advancing the objectives of financial management legislation in the public sector. The Public Finance Management Act, PFMA, places a unique responsibility on the department to prepare and exercise control over the provincial budget. Our mandate encompasses a fiscal policy and governance framework that guides all plans of public sector institutions. And we undertake this responsibility. We are mindful that the work of this department must enable the delivery of services to the people of Mpumalanga. For these reasons, we tabled 3 provincial appropriation bills during the previous financial year. These bills gave practical meaning to the medium-term development plan by directing resources to priorities that matter most, such as education, healthcare, and other social services. They ensured that our commitment to inclusive growth and job creation is backed by programs as outlined by other departments. They enabled the transfer of funds to non-governmental organizations, including the early childhood centers that augment government services to our people. They facilitated processes towards the operationalization of various critical infrastructure projects, such as the Mpumalanga International Food Market, the new King Nyabela Hospital, and many others. We can report that the Provincial Treasury has indeed achieved all its planned targets for the 2025-26 financial year. In the previous audit, we also achieved an unqualified audit opinion without any matters, which means clean audit. We will continue to build on the progress registered in the previous financial year to deepen fiscal discipline, strengthen oversight across all institutions, and affirm this administration's commitment to building a capable, ethical, and developmental state. Deputy Speaker, on organizational structure, strong and functioning institutions are underpinned by an adaptive and effective organizational structure and culture. For decades, the Provincial Treasury operated with limited capacity, which constrained from realizing the desired impact of strategic support to public institutions. I am pleased to announce that the Ministry of Public Service and Administration has approved a revised departmental organizational structure. The new organogram introduces municipal finance as a standalone program, which aligns with the organizational structures of other provincial treasuries in the country. The implementation of this revised structure will be phased in, taking into account our fiscal capacity. To ensure the process is inclusive and fair, we have established a multi-stakeholder team comprising management and labor stakeholders to guide the implementation of this project. Your skills development, honorable members, as we expand our institution to improve the quality of support for departments, public entities, and municipalities, we must also focus on nurturing the strength of our people. The capacity of a state is intrinsically linked to its citizens. That is why institutional development must go hand in hand with skills development initiatives, particularly targeting graduates in the commerce and information technology streams. This year, we enrolled 71 young graduates in our internship program, making another significant step towards preparing the youth for careers in finance and information and communication technology. We will continue to explore partnership with sector education and training authorities and key players in the finance and ICT sectors to expand investment in the professional development and career pathways for young people in our province. Revenue collection, the Provincial Treasury serves as both the architect and executor of our revenue enhancement program. During the previous year, we facilitated the approval of a comprehensive provincial revenue enhancement strategy. This revenue management blueprint outlines collection targets and identifies new growth opportunities to increase the provincial revenue base. We are proud to report that revenue collection has grown consistently each year, making the province one of the top revenue collectors in the country. As of the end of March 2026, the province collected 4.7 billion, largely driven by motor vehicle licensing fees, gambling, and related taxes. We will continue to implement measures that will help departments and public entities boost revenue collection. During the 2025-26 financial year, Provincial Treasury advanced prudent resource management through expenditure reviews. Working with the Government Technical Advisory Center, we have started conducting spending reviews of key cost drivers in the departments of education and health. We will roll out structured training across all departments to enable them to conduct spending reviews independently. These interventions aim to strengthen planning, reduce fiscal risk, and improve the quality and sustainability of expenditure decisions in departments. Honorable Speaker, as we roll out social and economic infrastructure throughout the province, we must institutionalize benchmarking with similar projects elsewhere and conduct cost-benefit comparisons as a fundamental requirement for funding new infrastructure projects. This approach will enhance budgeting processes, improve accountability, and ensure that our investment in infrastructure yield maximum returns. The Provincial Treasury will also support departments in leveraging the budget facility for infrastructure, BFI, to build a robust pipeline of strategic infrastructure projects that will propel provincial economic growth. Fiscal assets management. Honorable members, the Provincial Treasury will not continue to advance. The Provincial Treasury will continue to advance the priorities set out in the Provincial asset management strategy. To this end, we will support departments and public entities in improving the accuracy of asset registers to sustain unqualified audit outcomes in asset management. As part of support to the local government, we will provide additional assistance to municipalities, particularly those operating under the financial recovery plans, with a concentrated focus on investment property management. This initiative will address crucial components, including legal lease agreements, comprehensive asset registers, maintenance planning, and other vital measures that empower informed decision-making at the municipal level. Information technology and financial systems. The World Bank, in the report titled GovTech, the New Frontier in Digital Government Transformation, notes, open quote, digital transformation in the public sector is not just about technology. It is about making government more accessible and responsive to its citizens, close quote. For this reason, the Provincial Treasury is actively advancing its business automation program to modernize operations and improve service delivery. In the 2025-26 financial year, the department successfully transitioned the provincial administration to Microsoft Outlook to enhance the reliability and modernity of official communication. Additionally, the e-submission system has been implemented across the administration, which streamlines administrative tasks such as drafting memoranda, planning itineraries, and processing of traveling and subsistence claims on PESAL. Efforts are ongoing to ensure the complete rollout of this system, which will include features for the digital processing of legislative questions for written replies, among other functionalities. We are now digitizing our administration. This year, our focus will be on refining the system. We want to integrate manual templates and electronic signatures into our business process automation systems. We also plan to enhance data integrity by adding biometric security features to the PESAL system, modernizing recruitment. In our quest to simplify and enhance the integrity of recruitment processes, we piloted a new electronic recruitment system in a few departments and plan to expand it to other departments during the year. The pilot phase allowed us to evaluate the transition from paper applications to a more secure, efficient online system that automates the recruitment process. We extend our profound gratitude to the Center for Public Sector Innovation for working with us to deploy this online capability in the province. Abantwana bazo-applya computer. Enhancing procurement system. Abantu abadala. The provincial government is committed to building transparency and accountability in our procurement environment. This year, we will introduce a new electronic procurement system to streamline supply chain processes and improve efficiency in the procurement of goods and services to avoid the masela not to corrupt procurement system. The system will be piloted. The system will be piloted in the Provincial Treasury and expanded to other departments once the assessment is completed. Cybersecurity. As we embrace digitization, we are aware of the escalating challenges posed by the cyber threats and their impact on governments, enterprises, and individuals alike. Despite our efforts to enhance cybersecurity, such as through deploying firewalls, conducting routine security audits, and training personnel, the frequency of malicious attacks on institutions continue to escalate. We must continue to be vigilant in our collective response to these threats. To further bolster our defense, we will deploy comprehensive mitigation measures, including real-time threat monitoring, vulnerability assessments, and stringent user security protocols across all our online platforms. Furthermore, we will conduct targeted educational campaigns to increase awareness on cyber security. Honorable Speaker, viable and well-run municipalities are the foundation of effective government and improved service delivery. Despite some advances in many areas, challenges persist in the local government sector, particularly regarding the credibility of municipal budgets, revenue collection, and the overall effectiveness of governance and oversight structures. We need innovative strategies to manage our creditors effectively, enhance our collection efforts, and encourage payment for services rendered to communities and businesses. The Provincial Treasury will continue to provide targeted support to municipalities, guided by the strategy on the non-negotiables that are required to fix local government. We are proud to announce that the Procurement, Infrastructure and Knowledge Management, which is PINK, program for municipality has been extended for a period of 5 years. This partnership with Swiss government, through its State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, will be extended to all municipalities in the province this year. 5 technical advisors have already been deployed to strengthen municipal procurement, infrastructure delivery, and knowledge management in the province. Honorable Deputy Speaker, strong oversight by assurance providers and councillors is essential to ensure good financial administration. We will intensify support to governance structures to strengthen financial management across the province. As President Cyril Ramaphosa has said, open quote, we must build a capable state, a state that delivers on its promises, a state that serves the people, close quote. To respond to this clarion call, we must recognize that financial governance is the cornerstone of the desired developmental state. The medium-term development plan places ethics and accountability at the center of development and provision of service to the communities. In the last financial year, the Provincial Treasury provided support to institutions in reviewing their implementation of the audit improvement plans. As a result, audit outcomes improved, with 4 municipalities receiving unqualified audit opinions on their financial statements. There are still several municipalities that remain at a qualified audit level. We will continue working with Coxstar and Salga to improve these outcomes at the municipal level. We are also concerned about the high number of provincial departments that received qualified audit opinions in the last audit cycle. We are closely monitoring all qualified departments to confirm that all qualification areas are being addressed. The department will intensify support to audit and risk management committees as key pillars of governance in order to strengthen oversight and drive sustained improvements in governance, risk management, and internal controls across the province. The total budget allocated for implementation of policy priorities of the Provincial Treasury for the 2026-27 financial year is 729 million and 185,000, of which 183 million and 968,000 is allocated to the administration component. Sustainable Resource Management Program gets 93 million and 31,000 to oversee budget implementation and support to the local government. Assets and Liabilities Management Branch receives 409 million and 731,000 to monitor transformative targets in the public procurement policy, provide IT support, and drive systems for modernization. Financial governance component takes 42 million and 455,000 to advise and support public sector institutions on regulatory compliance and financial reporting. Honorable Speaker and members, the budget allocations mentioned in this address and those of my colleagues in the Executive Council cannot on their own sufficiently inspire confidence in the state. They can only become meaningful when translated into tangible service delivery and matched by fiscal discipline and accountability. We are committed to supporting all provincial institutions in achieving the government priorities set out in the medium-term development plan of the province. Let us continue to build a Mpumalanga province that works for all. I hereby table the policy priorities and budget for Vote 3, Provincial Treasury, for consideration by the Legislature. And let's wish good luck for Bafana this evening. Thank you very much, Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, for a well-delivered speech. I now invite the Secretary to read the 8th order of the day.
Order number 8, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, Vote 3, Provincial Treasury.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, Honorable Elsie Dlamini, to table the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the opportunity. I write on the protocol that has been established. I rise to table the report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance to the House for consideration and approval. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm informed that there's no debate on this report. I now put the question before the House whether we agree to adopt this report as presented by Honorable Dlamini.
Agreed.
So agreed. Hey, what is your English, honorable members? Okay. I shall invite the Secretary to read the 9th order of the day.
Order number 9, policy and budget speech on Vote 2, Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
Honorable members, there comes our salary. Let's all put our hands together for the Honorable Speaker to table the budget of the legislature. That's our salary. The Bible says, "Emsebenzi hlonipha umqashi wakho, ukuze izinsuku zakho ze-salary zande." Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You may proceed.
The Deputy Speaker of Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Mr. Sam Masango, the Premier of Mpumalanga Province, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, members of the Executive Council, Member of the National Assembly, Honorable Inkosi, the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Fidel Mlombo, the Deputy Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Desmond Muela, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Legislature, Honorable E.N. Makabane, members of the 7th Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Chairperson of the Provincial House of Khoisan, and traditional leaders and President of Contralesa, Kgoshi Mokoena, and other traditional leaders, including Her Highness Eureka Mohane, executive mayors, speakers of council and chief whips, acting secretary to the legislature, Mr. J.P. Silinda, and management, Director General of the Mpumalanga Provincial Government, Ms. Mekis Kosana, and all heads of department, chairperson of SOEs, and the members of different boards, the Office of the Auditor General, representatives of the Public Service Commission, South African Local Government Association known as SALGA, Provincial Secretary of the ANC, Comrade Muzi Chirwa, and all other leaders of various political formations. Vice Chancellor from Mpumalanga University, Prof. Tenjiwe Meyiwa, representatives of the Moral Regeneration Movement, and other religious leaders, members of the media, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, Nyanbingelela, Abshin, Luchani, Dimasiari, good day. Honorable Deputy Speaker Masango and members, it is an honor and a profound privilege to stand before you today to present Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Budget Vote 2 for 2026-27 financial year. This moment marks an important milestone in the democratic governance of our province. The budget before us is more than a financial statement. It reflects our collective aspirations, our developmental priorities, and our commitment to improving the quality of life of the people of Mpumalanga. As representatives of the people, we carry a constitutional responsibility to ensure that public resources are allocated fairly, spent efficiently, and utilized to advance the socio-economic well-being of our communities. The budget process is therefore central to the legislature oversight mandate and to the strengthening of accountability, transparency, and good governance. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this budget vote is tabled at a crucial moment where the country has just celebrated the Youth Day, 16 June. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the tragic events of June 16, 1976, a day that remains etched in the collective memory of our nation. I respectfully request that this House rises and observe a moment of silence for a few minutes in remembrance of all the victims of the 1976 uprising. Thank you. May their memories inspire us to continue building a society rooted in dignity, freedom, and respect for all. June is specifically dedicated to the young people of South Africa. Let us not misunderstand this month. June is not a solution to the challenges our youth face. It is not a destination. It is a reminder to this House, to government, to every citizen that our young people are crying out for the complete eradication of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. As we take stock in this August House, in terms of youth representation, I am pleased to indicate that we have MPLs belonging to the youth category, and that is progressive. However, there is still far more work to be done to realize youth emancipation, and this is not a matter of a ruling party only, but every party, every stakeholder, public, private sector, and every single citizen. We must work together to advance youth development. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I will be committing a grave error if I do not congratulate Bafana Bafana for qualifying for the FIFA World Cup 2026 tournament in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This indeed marks an important milestone for the entire nation. Though we lost against the Mexicans in that hard-fought game, make no mistake, defeat is not the end of the road. It is not a full stop. It is merely a comma in a much longer sentence that we are still writing together. Every champion stumbles before they is hour. Every hero faces setbacks before they conquer. The loss in Mexico is not a reflection of our boys' capability. It is fuel for their fire, grit for their grind, and a lesson on the long and winding road to glory. Tata South Africa, Tata. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as we draw closer to the 2026 local government elections, it is not only timely but fundamentally necessary to remind all political parties, all independent candidates, and all stakeholders involved in this democratic process to contest in a frank, honest, and progressive manner. Not in a manner that will leave our communities in deep, replicated, and unnecessary division. Let us be clear, honorable members. Elections come and go. What matters is the welfare of our communities. We cannot afford to turn our towns, our villages, and our cities into battlefields of bitterness every 5 years. We cannot allow the pursuit of power to become more important than the preservation of peace. Political parties must remember that once the votes are counted, once the results are declared, and once the new council is sworn in, we must still live together. We must still work together. We must still build Mpumalanga together. Therefore, let us campaign with passion, but without poison. Let us debate with vigor, but without violence. Let us disagree on policy, but never forget our shared humanity. The person standing on the other side of the political divide is not an enemy. They are our neighbor, a parent, a fellow South African who also wants a better life for their children. We also call on young people to participate in these upcoming local government elections like never before, not just as voters, but as candidates, as election observers, as campaign volunteers, as community educators, and as defenders of the democratic processes. Honorable Deputy Speaker, members and everyone present here, it is important to emphasize that the 7th Democratic Legislature is not operating on autopilot. Rather, it remains firmly guided by its constitutional mandate and unwavering commitment to serving the people of Mpumalanga. In line with the Constitution of South Africa, the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature has the authority to exercise oversight over the executive and organs of the state, to facilitate lawmaking through considering, passing, amending, or rejecting any bill that comes before it, and to initiate and prepare legislation except for money bills. Section 108 of the Constitution further mandates the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature to facilitate public participation by ensuring that the public has access to information and is involved in the legislative processes. Honorable Deputy Speaker Bab Masango, Nemalunga Eshamteto. In simple terms, for the benefit of the public, the core mandate of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature is defined by the following responsibilities: to create laws for the province that are fair, proactive, and responsive to the needs of our people; to oversee the provincial government by ensuring that departments deliver on service delivery priorities and commitments, hold the executive accountable for their functions, conduct oversight and performance assessment; to mobilize and involve stakeholders to participate meaningfully in the legislative processing, including conducting public education workshops to inform and educate citizens about the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature processes. Focusing on community-based public participation, educating the public about the budget processes and encouraging them to participate, hosting campaigns to create dialogue sessions to generate ideas, provide feedback, and respond to all public questions and concerns, holding sector parliaments as part of channeling issues and interest within different sectors of society, including the marginalized, and conduct public hearings on matters of interest and laws introduced, receiving and responding to all petitions submitted by citizens. Honorable members, this budget vote marks the second budget cycle of the 7th Democratic Legislature. As we undertake this important responsibility, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to leading this institution with purpose, determination, and a shared vision of strengthening our democratic mandate. During the 2026-27 financial year, we remain resolute in our efforts to build a legislature that is responsive, accountable, and effective in serving the people of Mpumalanga, while advancing the principles of oversight, public participation, and good governance. Following an intensive strategic planning process, the legislature has identified 7 strategic priority areas that will guide our work over the next remaining years. These priorities are fully aligned with the broader legislative sector program and the National Development Agenda as articulated in the Medium-Term Development Plan known as MTDP. Honorable Deputy Speaker, these strategic outcomes adopted by our legislature constitute a deliberate and focused program on action aimed at enhancing oversight, deepening public participation, strengthening accountability, and improving institutional effectiveness. As we continue to execute our constitutional mandate, our work will be guided by the following 7 strategic outcomes: enhance oversight over the executive and organs of state to ensure the effective implementation of approved government priorities, increase public participation in legislative processes to promote transparency, inclusivity, and participatory democracy, improved lawmaking processes that produce responsive, relevant, and impactful legislation, strengthened institutional capacity to effectively discharge the legislature oversight, public participation, and legislative responsibilities, optimize governance, strategic management, and financial oversight systems, promotion of nation building, social cohesion, and constitutional values, and expanded participation in inter-parliamentary forums to strengthen democratic governance, cooperation, and knowledge sharing. These strategic outcomes are intended to guide the legislature work towards 2030. More importantly, they serve as critical enablers for strengthening accountability, enhancing oversight effectiveness, advancing responsive and impactful legislation, and deepening meaningful public participation in the democratic processes. The legislature will focus on the following priorities: expanding public education and participation platforms to improve citizen engagement, strengthening committee support services to enhance oversight effectiveness, building the capacity of members and staff to improve institutional performance, enhancing the petition systems as an accessible mechanism for public engagement and accountability, and accelerating digital transformation initiatives to improve efficiency, responsiveness, and service delivery. Honorable members, our performance environment is underpinned by a set of strategic priorities that inform the foundation of our planning framework towards 2030. These priorities are strengthening interparliamentary relations and integrated oversight across provincial and local spheres of government, deepening public participation and involvement in legislative processes, enhancing the petition system as a critical instrument for citizen engagement and oversight, promoting outcome-based oversight and accountability with a focus on measurable impact and improved service delivery, advancing an evidence-based, inclusive, and constitutionally compliant lawmaking processing, strengthening the institutional capacity and resilience of the legislature to effectively fulfill its mandate, and streamlining internal processes through digitalization to improve efficiency, collaboration, innovation, and responsiveness. Through these strategic priorities, the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature reaffirms its commitment to building a capable, responsive, and people-centered institution that serves the interests of the citizens of our province and contributes meaningfully to the consolidation of our constitutional democracy. Honorable members, the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Oversight Model, known as MPLOM, adopted by the Provincial Legislature in 2016, remains the core of our parliamentary business. Our parliamentary business is premised on pillars, namely committee support, research support, language services and proceedings, public participation and petitions, and legal services. The above pillars provide interlinked support to committee business and House proceedings in the legislature chamber. We'll continue to provide our members and committees with competent support structure as demanded by the MPLOM and the sector public participation strategy. The legislature, through the parliamentary committees which were established and reconfigured in the beginning of the 7th term, continue to exercise its very important mandate on meaningful and impactful oversight and holding the executive accountable. During the period of 2025-26, committees achieved this mandate of impactful oversight through successful holding meetings, committee business on deliberating and approving the departmental 2025-26 budgets and annual performance plans, and subsequently assessing and monitoring government actions and service delivery implementation, as well as their overall performance through processing departmental quarterly performance reports, the annual reports, and audit outcomes. Oversight visits to projects funded and implemented by the departments and the entities were conducted throughout the province to verify and ensure performance is in line with the plans and the allocated budgets. In addition to the normal oversight activities in the various municipalities, the legislature held the Taking Legislature to the People programs in Bushbuck Ridge and Chief Albert Luthuli local municipalities in September 2025 and March 2026, respectively. This was done in a quest to continue to be a legislature that ensures inclusive, active participation, transparency, and effective service delivery of the people, who are the ultimate beneficiaries of government programs. Stakeholder engagement sessions were also conducted on various issues that affect the communities within the province. In this financial year, the legislature will conduct the TLP to the Steve Tshwete local municipality as a continuation of exercising its mandates on oversight and public participation. We'll embark on the structured approach of MPLOM implementation by strengthening coordination across committee systems. This will ensure and enforces structured oversight processes, structured reporting, discipline and monitoring, enhancing visibility across committees and improve alignment before programming decisions. The committee support continues to ensure that various committees keep track and monitor the implementation of House resolutions by all departments and entities through the House resolution tracking system and follow up on resolutions that remain in progress and ongoing, which are seen as undermining oversight impact. The systemic tracking will strengthen accountability and improve departmental responsiveness in this regard. Committees will continuously and consistently monitor their own work through the committee-owned reports. As we approach the midterm of the office of the 7th term of Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, we are pleased with the work achieved thus far, supported by the evidence-based research within the legislature. We have managed to have meaningful oversight and accountability guided by the research provided to the committees of the legislature and the overall governance structures led by the Speaker. During the financial year 2025-26, we have managed to support committees with quality and evidence-based budgets, annual performance plans analysis, quarterly and annual performance report analysis, oversight research support, and the socio-economic studies supporting the Taking the Legislature to the People programs. The adoption and implementation of the research procedure manual and its related framework served as a guiding tool and instruments in discharging research studies on behalf of the legislature. The research work provided by the team assisted in exposing departmental performance and service delivery gaps in the various portfolio committees. The research work also presented remedial recommended actions to be considered in addressing the identified gaps. We further benefited from the Chapter 9 and 10 institution research studies that complemented the internal research capacity. As we continue to provide strategic and professional research and support the business of the legislature, we have noted that the provision of adequate research capacity supported by the academic institutions will be critical in empowering the members of the legislature in discharging their responsibilities and hold the executive accountable. We are working towards increasing and improving research capacity, both in terms of personnel and adequate budgeting, so that we respond to the aspirations and dictates of the sector oversight model and the customized Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature oversight model. This support will ensure that all portfolio committees and select committees have adequate research personnel as they discharge their responsibilities. With permitting resources, we are envisaging to strengthen working relationships with institutions of higher learning and other entities that provide research so that we collaborate on matters of mutual interest. We also intend to ensure such relationships assist the legislature on oversight and accountability, focusing on the provincial core priorities as identified from the Medium-Term Development Plan 2024 to 2029. The Mpumalanga Provincial Growth and Development Path and the development strategies that respond to the challenges of our citizens. As indicated in the previous year's speech, we'll continue with the training and development of members of the provincial legislature with reputable academic institutions to understand and use the research support as the main instrument for parliamentary, impactful and value-based decision-making. We are also going to undertake a market study on research instruments and tools that must be implemented in the legislature to support members in discharging their constitutional responsibilities. This is informed by the immense use of artificial intelligence, known as AI tools, to generate research studies which are non-scientific and non-evidence-based, resulting to poor and uninformed decision-making. The market study research on instruments and tools will ameliorate the abuse and misuse of artificial intelligence. Honorable Deputy Speaker, through the Memorandum of Understanding with the University of Venda, the legislature offers a 4-month experiential learning program in language practice, a move which gives students linguists work-related experience and prepares them to thrive in the world of work. We'll intensify that interpreting services is provided for during public hearings, particularly when dealing with legislation, both national and provincial. We'll also cover sectoral parliaments. However, this calls for more human and financial resources. We'll also undertake the review on the programming of the legislature, sittings to allow policy and budget speeches to be delivered very early, immediately after the delivery of the appropriation bill by the MEC for Finance. This will expedite the process for concluding the appropriation bill. We should also identify gaps in the rules and orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, and where it is appropriate, review them in line with procedural development in the legislative sector. Honorable members, the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature has since 2009 rolled out the voter education program. This program is essential in deepening participatory democracy through civic education and mobilizing the citizens to vote for their political parties of choice and supporting the Independent Electoral Commission. It has contributed immensely to eliminating spoiled ballot papers and combating voter apathy in our province. The legislature will therefore continue rolling out voter education in partnership with the Independent Electoral Commission, known as IEC, and the Mpumalanga Provincial Speakers Forum, as we move closer to the 2026 local government elections and beyond. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Mpumalanga Provincial Speakers Forum has grown into a platform for sharing best practices and a mechanism of shaping oversight and public participation in the province. Over the past financial year, we have, through the Provincial Speakers Forum, driven initiatives, convened our first district development meeting. We have also hosted a successful workshop on integrated oversight approaches between the local government and the provincial legislature in Mpumalanga. We will therefore continue to provide support, both administrative and financial, to the business of the Mpumalanga Provincial Speakers Forum. In this regard, I wish to recognize all the speakers in attendance here today. As we draw closer to the end of your term of office, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, honorable speakers of local government, for the leadership displayed during your term of office. Let us continue to work together to deepen our mandate of oversight and public participation. We'll continue to participate in the interparliamentary bodies, including the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, known as CPA, and the National Speakers Forum, for the benefit of the legislature as a bastion of democracy and equality in the province. The legislature will continue to provide support services in relation to the welfare of members and capacity building programs through the provision of short-term and long-term learning opportunities. Increased exposure to learning opportunities enables our members to adapt to new technologies and conduct their work more efficiently. We'll continue to roll out the sector-driven capacity development for the benefit of our members. We'll continue to provide support to the multi-party women caucus of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature as it pursues the gender-sensitized budget oversight program across the provincial government departments and their entities. Gender equality is not a subject of women alone. It is important that men in this august house also adopt a positive posture towards the subject and assist the multi-party women caucus in advancing the gender equality agenda. Honorable members, as we navigate the landscape of the seven administration, building a capable, ethical, and developmental state requires us move beyond traditional governance models. Technology is no longer merely an operational support tool. It is a critical horizontal enabler of transparency, public accountability, and constitutional execution. To ensure that this legislature remains agile, secure, and accessible to the citizens we serve, we have purposefully directed our fiscal resources towards comprehensive digital transformation. Over the past financial year, our focus was to stabilize infrastructure, secure our public data assets, and eliminate bureaucratic bottlenecks. I am pleased to report significant milestone. Paperless chamber integration. Through our business automation program, we have successfully automated parliamentary functions using state-of-the-art technologies that enable members to participate seamlessly in the House. This transition has drastically reduced printing costs, streamlined the distribution of the announcements, tablings, and committee reports, and optimized resource allocation. enhance hybrid and remote plenary capabilities. We have modernized our audiovisual and broadcasting infrastructure, securing 99.8% network available for hybrid committee session and virtual sittings. This ensures uninterrupted legislative oversight. Citizen-centric public participation platforms. We have grounded in our commitment to inclusive democracy. By expanding public participation through our streaming platforms and mobile application, our citizens can now track bills, submit petitions, and view live legislature proceedings directly from their digital device. In an era where a connected society is a targeted society, we have successfully upgraded our firewall architecture and endpoint protection. We achieved 0 critical security breaches this past financial year by proactively safeguarding sensitive legislative and public data. As we look to the future, our digitization strategy is shifting from standard automation to intelligent, cloud-first governance. Our roadmap centers on 3 strategic pillars. We are exploring the integration of specialized cloud infrastructure and localized data engines to enhance administrative efficiency. We have successfully deployed an AI-driven speech-to-text solution that compresses the processing time of official Hansard records from days to hours. Introduce a centralized enterprise resource planning system to automate workflow approvals across supply chain management, human resources, and financial management and reporting. We have revamped our public participation through our recently implemented mobile application to ensure every citizen petition or submission is automatically routed, assigned a reference number, and tracked in real time. We have revamped our website using modern technology that will perform seamlessly on low bandwidth networks, ensuring that rural and underdeserved communities can actively engage with legislature processes without heavy data cost. We are in a process of implementing a reverse billing solution to cover data cost for strategic stakeholders in our province. As our digital footprints expand, so must our vigilance. Our planned budgetary allocation will fund the implementation of a zero-trust network architecture paired with multi-factor authentication across all legislature access points, continuous security awareness training for all members of the provincial legislature and staff, ensuring that our human firewall is as robust as our technological one. The digitization of core business processes that will enhance the operations of the legislature and support to members of the legislature. Honorable members, the budget allocated to the IT portfolio is not an administrative cost. It is a direct investment in the democratic contract between this House and the public. By building a digitized, transparent, and resilient infrastructure, we ensure that the legislature remains responsive, data secure, and fiercely accountable to our people. Honorable Deputy Speaker, public participation is a cornerstone of democratic governance, ensuring that there is transparency, accountability, and legitimacy in legislative decisions. It is for this reason that the 7th legislature will strive to ensure streamlining and strengthening public involvement on oversight. This includes reviewing time slots for public engagement to enable effective and meaningful public participation. This might call for afternoon and weekend public meetings, accommodating our economically active residents, strengthening outreach programs, targeting rural and marginalized communities, and enhancing public understanding of the constitutional right and obligations. It must be the legislature's duty to make follow-up on behalf of our people on all government commitments. Through our public engagement efforts, we shall strengthen the feedback to our communities on matters raised during our many outreach programs. Again, in 2025, young people requested for TVET College campus in Mkondo and Victor Kanye local municipalities. It is our responsibility as the legislature to make follow-up on these requests and that the campuses are established at least within the term of this legislature. It is my pleasure to confirm that the report from the National Department of Higher Education indicates a plan to establish this important institution at Mkondo local municipality under Gert Sibande District Municipality. As the legislature, constitutional tasked with oversight function will continue to monitor the implementation of House resolutions and ensure that they are realized for the benefit of the future generation. Furthermore, our petitions platform serves as a bridge between communities and government, transforming the public's concern into implementable oversight interventions. To realize the full potential of the petition function, the legislature will ensure adequate investment in human resources, stakeholder engagement initiatives, and digital transformation. Such investment will strengthen the legislature's ability to respond effectively to public concern, improve oversight outcomes, and enhance public trust and confidence in the legislature. It is crucial to continue strengthening the petitions function as a key instrument of participatory democracy and enhancing accessibility and inclusivity. Expand awareness campaigns on the petitions processes during Public Participation Week and beyond. As the legislature, we remain committed to strengthening our oversight function through our petition system and meaningful public involvement by ensuring collaboration between the Select Committee on Public Participation and Petitions and members' legislative proposal and legislature committees to ensure a responsive legislature to the needs of the people. By ensuring that petitions are processed transparently, efficiently, and consistently, the system demonstrates the institution's commitment to accountability, responsiveness, and citizen participation. Furthermore, it provides petitioners with assurance that their concerns are formally recorded, objectively considered, and addressed through the established legislature processes, thereby enhancing the credibility and legitimacy of the legislature as a representative and responsive democratic institution. As a result, a total number of 41 petitions were closed in the 2025-26 financial year, including the following petitions. We received complaints about long outstanding applications for inter alia late birth registration identity documents from all areas around the province, which were successfully processed through the intervention of the legislature, and the cases were closed by the committee. Requests for assistance on overdue birth certificate and identity document for the Mabuza twins in KwaMsokawa. The petitioners, the Mabuza twins, had challenges with applying for birth certificates and identity documents since their mother's identity was used fraudulently by someone unknown to them, which hindered them from applying for the documents. They wrote their matric with a letter from the public protector. They approached the legislature for assistance since they were turning 26 years in the year 2023, and their lives were stuck without IDs. Upon several engagements and interventions with the department, the latter eventually located a person who fraudulently applied for an identity document using their mother's identity document, and eventually the twins were assisted in the year 2025. And the petition was closed by the committee after they received their birth certificates and identity documents. A request for assistance with a late registration of birth, Ms. Mpejo Dorenhoek Farm, Padfontein. The petitioner, born in 2004, requested assistance for a delayed application of late registration of birth from the legislature since she was sent from pillar to post by the Department of Home Affairs. Upon several engagements with the department, DNA testing was done and eventually she was assisted. The late registration of birth has been obtained. She is now in the process of applying for an identity document and late registration of birth for her children. I thought you would clap hands. Siyasebenza. Request for an assistance with the RTP house for a destitute with 10 children, Oakley Trust in Bushbuckridge. The petitioner, a destitute mother of 10 children who lived in a one-room shack with bad living conditions, stated that she is surviving with the grants she receives for the 6 young children. She alleged that she applied for the RTP house without success and requested assistance from the legislature, whereby upon several engagements and follow-ups with the department, the petitioner was eventually assisted and took occupation of the RTP house. She appreciated the assistance from the legislature and the file was closed accordingly by the committee. Complaint about delayed land claim compensation in Bushbuckridge. The petitioner complained about a delayed land claim compensation on behalf of the Sikatane family that was initially lodged in the year 2022. The family was approached by the Commission on the Restitution of Land Rights, whereby the family was told to submit certain documents and was thereafter promised to receive compensation. However, years passed without any feedback from the department.
My apology, my salary. May you take your seat? May you take your seat, my salary? Okay. Yes, Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Honorable Manzini, you need to take the details of that woman from the Speaker of the Legislature, the one in Otley with 10 kids. Thank you. It's your project.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Speaker, you may proceed. That was a commercial break.
They requested assistance from the legislature, and upon intervention, the family was accordingly paid for the land claim. They appreciated the assistance from the legislature, and the file was closed by the committee. Siyasebenza, Deputy Speaker. Request for a clinic at Vezubuhle. The petitioner, on behalf of a community at Vezubuhle, requested assistance with a clinic since they were using a mobile clinic and the elderly traveled long distance to get to the clinic. After the referral of the petition to the department in 2023, the petitioner confirmed in 2025 that eventually the clinic is under construction. The file was closed by the committee and the matter will be referred to the Portfolio Committee on Health for further monitoring until the completion of the clinic. The request for a disability grant. The petitioner requested assistance for obtaining a disability grant since as her application at South African Social Security Agent, known as SASSA, was continuously and unduly delayed. Upon intervention by the legislature, the petitioner confirmed that she started receiving the grant in January 2025. She further appreciated the assistance received from the legislature, and the file was closed by the committee. Request for a scholar transport for Greenfield learners. The petitioner requested assistance with scholar transport for learners at Greenfield Community in Mkhondo. The school is approximately 15 to 20 kilometers away from the area they lived in. The public scholar transport allocated catered for 2 other schools and could not cater for the learners at Greenfield area. The matter was referred to the department, and upon several engagements, the petitioner confirmed that they were assisted by the department. They further appreciated the assistance through the intervention of the legislature, and the file was closed by the committee. Honorable members, the Constitution of South Africa is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa empowers the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature to consider, pass, or amend bills. Section 104(1)(b), subsection 4 of the Constitution states that the legislative authority of a province is vested in the provincial legislature and confers on the provincial legislature the power to pass legislation for its province with regard to any matter for which a provision of the Constitution envisages the enactment of the provincial legislation. As part of the law-making mandate of the legislature, I am pleased to report that during the 2025-26 financial year, the legislature has considered more than 15 bills and provincial bills, demonstrating our commitment to a responsive governance and the strengthening of our constitutional democracy. In the legislature, provincial legislation and Section 76 legislation, bill affecting provinces are reviewed on a regular basis to determine whether such legislation is legally sound and in line with the Constitution. Other laws and international conventions or treaties. I am also happy to announce that during the 2025-26 financial year, the legislature has repealed the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Law Repeal Act 2025 and replaced it with a Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Handbook 2025. The reason for the repeal of the act was to change the retirement age for legislature employees from 60 years to 65 years. Our people are longing for laws that truly serve their interests and address their plight. We therefore will continue to process more provincial and national laws. Throughout this exercise, we will remain guided by the Constitution, the mandating procedures of the Provinces Act 2008 and the Mpumalanga Provincial Rules and Orders and other legal prescripts. The Office of the Speaker embraces the implementation of nation building and social cohesion program known as legacy projects to interact and support the poor and marginalized sections of the population. The targeted sections of the population include but not limited to senior citizens, orphans, child-headed families, people with disabilities, traditional leaders, religious, small businesses, learners, and people living with albinism, as well as other sectors that the Speaker deemed it necessary to consider. The Nation Building and Social Cohesion Program take different forms whereby the Speaker makes determination in terms of encouraging other role players to lend their supporting hands in ensuring the legacy projects relevant to the intended beneficiaries. The role that social cohesion and nation-building programs play in South Africa, schools are in line with the National Development Plan objective for South Africa to, by 2030, be a society where people is not determined by race or birthright, and where citizens accept they have both rights and responsibilities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, allow me to present to this August House the milestone of the legacy projects for 2025-26 financial year in terms of category and the number of beneficiaries which benefited from the program. The schools, 3 schools benefited and 250 learners benefited from this program. Disability Center, 1 disability center and 100 beneficiaries benefited. Senior Citizens Home, 1 and 80 beneficiaries. And the total number of centers is 5 and 430 beneficiaries. This means that the legacy project has yielded 430 beneficiaries. The Mpumalanga Legislature continues to strengthen internal controls, improve financial discipline, and ensure compliance with all applicable legislation, including the Financial Management of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, known as FAMPLA, and applicable standards of GRAP. During the new financial year, the legislature will prioritize enhancing expenditure monitoring and budget controls, improving the quality and credibility of financial reporting, ensuring timely preparation and submission of annual financial statements. We'll continue investing in our financial system, staff development and governance processes to ensure that financial reporting remains credible, reliable, and audit ready throughout the financial year. Supply chain management remains a critical component in ensuring finance, transparency, competitiveness, and cost effectiveness in the procurement of goods and services. The legislature acknowledges the important role that supply chain management plays in supporting governance and economic transformation. In the coming financial year, focus will be directed towards strengthening compliance within the supply chain management prescripts and regulations, enhancing procurement planning and contract management, promoting ethical procurement practices and eliminating opportunities for fraud and corruption, increasing support for designated groups, including youth, women, and persons with disabilities, improving oversight over procurement processes through ensure value for money. The legislature will continue implementing measures to prevent unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditures through strengthened internal controls, enhanced bid committees governance, and continuous monitoring of procurement activities. The Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature remains resolute in its pursuit of maintaining and sustaining a clean audit outcome. Operation Clean Audit is not merely an administrative exercise. It is a commitment to ethical governance, accountability, and responsible stewardship of public resources. The institution has made significant progress in strengthening governance systems and embedding a culture of compliance and performance and excellence. However, sustaining clean administration requires continuous vigilance, accountability, and collective commitment from all stakeholders. During the financial year ahead, Operation Clean Audit will focus on maintaining effective internal control systems, ensuring full compliance with applicable legislation and policies, strengthening records management and document control, enhancing audit action plan monitoring and implementation, strengthening risk management and governance oversight, and promoting a culture of accountability across all levels of the institution. Our objective is not only to achieve clean audits, but to institutionalize good governance practices that support long-term sustainability and public confidence in the legislature. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the total amount proposed to be appropriated to vote to Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature for the 2026-27 financial year is 584,460,000 rands and is allocated to the two programs as follows. Program 1, which is administration, 245,245,000 rands. Program 2, which is parliamentary business, 278,180,000 rand. Direct charge against the provincial revenue fund, 61,035,000 rands. This budget represents more than financial allocations. It represents our commitment to strengthening democracy, improving governance, and serving the people of Mpumalanga with integrity and accountability. As we move forward, let us continue working together to build a legislature that is responsive, transparent, ethical, and capable of fulfilling its constitutional mandate effectively. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members of this August House, distinguished guests, and the people of Mpumalanga, we have traversed a significant journey in this budget vote. We have reflected on our constitutional mandate, our strategic outcomes, our oversight achievements, our digital transformation, and most importantly, the tangible lives we have changed through the petition systems. The Mabuza twins who can now claim their identity, the mother of 10 in Oakley Trust who now has a roof over her children's heads, and the Sikatane family who received their land compensation. These are not statistics. These are our people. These are the faces of a legislature that refused to be distant, refused to be indifferent, and refused to be silent. Deputy Speaker, the 584,460,000 rands we appropriate today is not an expense. It is an investment in oversight that leaves no department unaccountable, an investment in public participation that leaves no voice unheard, an investment in lawmaking that leaves no injustice unchallenged, and an investment in a digital future that leaves no citizen unreachable, and even in the most remote villages of our province. To the youth of Mpumalanga, June reminds us that your cry has been heard, but hearing is not enough. This legislature commits to action. The TVET campuses in Mkondo is not a promise, it is a delivery. We'll monitor it, we'll verify it, we'll ensure it rises. To our elders, our persons with disabilities, our women, our workers, and our traditional leaders, this legislature is your legislature. The Taking Legislature to the People program will reach Steve Tshwete local municipality. Our legacy is the family that received an RDP house because a petition was taken seriously. Our legacy is the child who receives scholar transport because a committee refused to close a file until justice was done. Our legacy is the community that gets a clinic because this house turned a complaint into a resolution, and a resolution into construction. As I conclude, let us remember the words etched into the conscience of our democracy. Open quote. The people shall govern, close quote. Not someday, not when it is convenient, but now, today. Through this budget, through this vote, through every oversight visit, every public hearing, every piece of legislation, and every single decision we make in this chamber, I would like to thank the Deputy Speaker, the House chairpersons, the committee chairpersons, all members of this legislature, the acting secretary, and the entire administration for dedication. I thank the people of Mpumalanga for entrusting us with their voice. I therefore table the 2026-27 policy and budget statement and request this August House to appropriate and approve the amount as proposed. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for a well-drafted budget speech. I now invite the Secretary to read the 10 order of the day.
Order number 10, consideration of a report of the Oversight Committee on Legislature and Premier's Office, vote number 2, Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Oversight Committee, Legislature and the Office of the Premier, Honorable TMJ Morgan, to table the report.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise as the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Legislature and Premier's Office to table the report of the Legislature, vote 2, for this House to adopt. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm informed there's no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Honourable members, that concludes the business of the day. You are all requested to remain standing until the procession have left the House. The House is adjourned until further notice.
The procession must run.
Thank you.
The procession must run. We've been here the whole day. Procession run. Mina wakakholeng ngala futhi ami. Okay.